What's going on, everybody? It's Dot Bets. We're checking back in to the On the Dot podcast for July 28th. Coming at you. On this episode, we are going to discuss attacking props. So it's a little bit different than spreads and moneyline betting. So we will get into how we dissect. We talked a little bit in the previous episode about researching our picks. Little bit different, little philosophy with our prop betting here. As always, I'm joined with my co-host, Sidekick Picks. How are we feeling tonight?
Good, ready to get going.
Yeah, and also we are going to discuss the NFC West, probably my favorite division. I am from St. Louis. I will always be a Rams fan, even no matter if Kroenke wants to steal my team from me as well. But if you guys can see on YouTube, we got the champion football. We got the little mini helmet that came in the mail today. I'm ready to go. So we're pumped. We're ready to get after it. So attacking props and the NFC West. But before we get going, as always, we're going to shout out props.cash. We'll discuss how we utilize that as well into prop betting. Best resource that you can definitely purchase for the research and analytics behind it. Use On the Dot promo code and you get 25% off your initial monthly purchase. And we will sweeten the deal. We will throw in a free month of VIP for both me and Sidekick Picks' VIP. So become a free subscriber. If you guys want to grab that deal now or grab it before football season rolls around, we will be doing that for the foreseeable future. So attacking props. How do you go about dissecting it? And I guess it depends on what particular sport. I know for you, you're awesome at this, the hit parlays and record a win for those pitchers. Anything else you do for college basketball or anything that you want to add a little bit more for the baseball one?
So for college basketball, I didn't do any props. I did some teasers and parlays, but never really dove into prop betting for college basketball. I didn't think too many books offered it. But with baseball, yeah, I do hit parlays. We'll do record wins, and we'll do no run first inning. So those are the three that I target for baseball. NFL, I'll do anything. I literally look at every single prop there is for football. Yep. Kicking props, defensive tackle props, doesn't matter. I'm looking at it, just trying to find some kind of edge. Mm-hmm. So I guess the first place, and I talked about this a little bit last episode, that I look is props.cash, just because it's super user friendly. And there's like a tab at the top where you can select what prop you're interested in. And then they pretty much take it from there. So everything's lined up. You can see what they did last season. You can see what they did last couple games against a team. Like they really, really focus and try to make it easy for you to find the prop that is best for you. But I also look at different books, and I think that's something you should definitely consider when prop betting, because some books won't offer certain props, especially in football. You're going to find like maybe there's a catch difference between like a FanDuel and a DraftKings, or like a yard difference between the two books, and odds will be different too. Like no run first inning, I feel like is a little bit better on FanDuel, but sometimes it might be better on DraftKings. DraftKings offers record a win where FanDuel doesn't. And I find that the hitting props are a lot better odds-wise on FanDuel. So having multiple books is definitely key for when you're targeting prop betting.
Oh, for sure. You're going to have different lines, different juices at different spots, for sure. I want to add, you got to know the difference as well when you're going into prop betting. What's a gimmick prop and what is more of a skill prop. I mean, go a little bit further. When you're in Super Bowl, there's so many gimmicks. You got the coin toss, you got the Gatorade, you got how many timeouts the first timeout someone's going to do. Some type of crazy, stupid gimmick prop that the sportsbooks love to feed off of. So I try to stay away from those. Obviously, it's a Super Bowl. You do a little bit here and there. But we're talking more skill props here, learning how game narratives play out. And that's my second bullet point here. Think about how narratives, how a game necessarily will go, depending on different types of matchups that come out in between there. In NBA, it's really, really easy to dissect. This team just struggles against centers. Okay, let's pound Robert Williams tonight for the Celtics against the Hornets. It was something like that. Where, okay, let's go his double-double, or let's go his rebounds, let's go his points or rebounds. So, you just create this game narrative and you look at the matchups, and that's what Props Like Cash does a great job of. You can see their trends. Some people get caught up in those trends a lot. I know I used to do that. We're like, oh, this guy's hitting 10 straight. He's got to hit another one.
It got me today. I had Austin Riley for a hit because he had him in like 19 straight games, and he didn't get a hit tonight. So
yeah, and that'll get you as well. So I mean, trends only go so far in prop betting. You got to look at that matchup in particular. And then another one that I always go off of is I touched on this last episode too, but DFS. I think DFS and prop betting can go hand in hand. I know some people disagree with that. But it's not like a one-all be-all. This guy's going to go off. So let's look at his point total, or let's look at his anytime touchdown. Let's look at his receiving yards. More than likely, that guy is going off for a reason, because he has a plus matchup, because he has going over a weak defense, some type of advantage over that defense. And you got to think, is that line too high? Is that number just right? What has he done in the past? What has he done in this game before? There's a lot of things you need to look at and dissect. So, difference between the fun and skill prop, create that game narrative in your head. Oh yeah, I can definitely see this guy putting up so-and-so. That's where those ladders come involved. When you ladder on FanDuel, I don't think you can ladder on DK just yet. And then you also got to think of DFS. If that guy's supposed to go off, why is he supposed to go off, and dissect that prop for him. So anything to add there?
No, I think you covered it. I guess promos, certain books will throw out different promos. DraftKings is starting to do this new. Well, actually, FanDuel's doing it too, where they kind of give you like a pre-made prop parlay or whatever that you can take.
I stay far away from that.
Yeah. Usually I got to feel pretty good about the promos that they're sending out there, but I typically stay away too. I just think it's a little fishy.
Oh yeah. Hey, here's this guy's parlay tonight. And it's like, really? That guy's not going to go off. No way in hell. We got people all the time in our Discord that come in and they're like, oh, we got this promo. What do you guys think? And I'm like, I'm staying far away, not touching it. Like, there's just no way. I can't do it. And then last thing I'll say about attacking the props, sometimes the lines will lead you not necessarily to, for example, the lines will lead you, in my opinion here, to take a double-double rather than the points and the rebounds. So in this instance, I'll go back to Robert Williams, where I did this a lot, where his points were like over 8.5 and his rebounds were over 9.5. But they were both heavily juiced, minus 130, minus 140, maybe even minus 160. So instead of taking one of those two, or taking the points plus rebounds at like probably minus 115, minus 120-ish, I went to the double-double. And the double-double ended up being like plus 110, plus 120, whatever it was. I went that route I'm not a big juice guy. I don't like to do too much with the juice. So and in that scenario, the lines led me to that particular, double play. In another instance, you could do somebody's 3.5 3-pointers, and you can ladder that to maybe go 4, 5, 6. So instead of maybe taking the over 3.5 very heavily juiced, you just say, okay, I really like this guy's matchup. So instead I'm just going to ladder it up. And I think that's what some cappers do as well. And they've been doing a pretty good job of when to take those ladders. But those ladders are a little bit trickier, but they do negate some juice there.
Right.
All right. So that is all for the props how we kind of attack those. If anybody has any other questions, obviously you can always DM us on Twitter or follow our podcast at On the Dot Pod on Twitter. That's our Twitter account there. And then you can also join the free Discord and ask us any questions any time of the day. We'll get right back to you guys. So to the NFC West, we have probably another top-heavy division. The fourth team is going to be the fourth team. It's going to be the Seattle Seahawks. We'll talk a little bit briefly about them towards the end of who we think can still produce fantasy-wise. But I still think this is a Rams or 49ers division to win. And so do the sports books. You got the Rams plus 125 to win the division, and you have the 49ers plus 150. The Cardinals and Seattle round out at plus 400 and plus 1,800, respectively. So Cardinals have a long way to go. They always start off hot. Let's start with the Cardinals here. We just got that new big deal for Kyler Murray. He's got to study 4 hours a week or whatnot. There's some crazy, stupid thing he has to do because apparently he wouldn't do it before, which makes no sense why you wouldn't do that. That's your damn job. But yeah, let's pay him $230 and make sure that he definitely gets those work hours in for film. But this is a team with no Christian Kirk, no Chase Edmonds, and they have Hopkins off of suspension for 6 games. Then they brought in Marquise Brown and another key loss they're not a key loss, a gain. They gained Darrell Williams. That's another guy that I thought was a very, very good fit. So you got Brown and you have Darrell Williams coming into that offense. So to complement James Conner there. I'll start with this question here for you. What do you think of Marquise Brown in this system?
He should excel a little bit more, just because he has an upgrade at quarterback. Not saying that Lamar Jackson's a terrible quarterback, but when it comes to throwing the ball, I like Kyler Murray a hell of a lot more than I do Lamar Jackson. So we should see an increase in just about every statistical category for him. So I like that pickup. Rondell Moore should get involved a little bit more. You got a veteran guy with AJ Green, so I like that. And that Darrell Williams pickup, I think, is going to be pretty impactful as well.
Yeah, I picked up Darrell Williams when CEH went down last year for the Chiefs, and I was starting him week in, week out because he had such good receiving numbers. But I think he fits perfectly. I know James Conner is going to be the lead down back, but Williams is going to be involved. If you're picking a little bit later on in your fantasy drafts, 100% take Williams as a little flyer there. You never know what happens to Conner. He could be the lead back. So
you got a full year of Zach Ertz there too.
Yep.
Which will be pretty nice to see.
No, I'm good. Yeah, I like him a lot. I think he's a top. I would give him right now my top 5 or 6 right there. Then, but back to Marquise Brown real quick. I think he's going to excel in this offense. He's not relied upon to maybe catch those deep balls every single game. And you kind of saw how the Ravens were using him a little bit more last season through the numbers and not so many deep balls for him. And when Hopkins comes back, I think this offense could take off. So maybe I don't see a full blown second half collapse like we've come to know in this team. And I saw some people, and it kind of made a little bit sense if you're thinking about that second half surge for this Cardinal team. You might want to take the over 3.5 division wins because you think you're going to get 2 against Seattle. And if you can squeeze out 1-1 against this, the Rams or the 49ers, it's not a bad look. But I'm not going to be off that, but I have seen that around the industry, and I can definitely see their point of view there, getting Hopkins back.
Yeah, I like that. You can see them winning over 3.5. I do like a couple Kyler Murray props. His rushing yards are at 525. So last year he missed 2 games and he had 423, but the 2 years before that, he had 819 and 544. So he's definitely capable of getting over that mark. So I do like that. Do you have any other props you like for this team?
No, nothing crazy for this team. I'm a little bit hesitant to take anything. I was on Rondale Moore last year. It was like over 550 receiving yards, something like that. He had that great start to the season. I thought I was going to cash super easy and end up missing it by like over 50 plus yards because he just like went absent. And I'm like, man, you just had like 300 in the first 4 or 5 weeks. What the hell happened? Like I was all pumped to cash that and ended up not. But I do like more this year. He's going to be, no pun intended, more involved with the offense here. But you can't go wrong with Murray at the helm. He's going to make plays with his feet, with his arm. But will they take that step up to compete in this division? I'm going to say no this year.
See, I was looking at his rushing touchdown props, but I think I'm going to stay away because it's at, 5.5 or 6.5? He had 5 last year and 11 the year before, but this guy also had a career high in fumbles last year with 13. Like that's a lot of fumbles. So maybe if he controls that a little bit more.
He's trying to do a little bit too much.
Yeah.
I played him way too many times for anytime touchdowns. I know that. But they do score a lot. I mean, James Conner had like 17, 18 touchdowns last year. So maybe he takes a little bit more of those at the goal line, a little sneak action. I could see that over there. But, not a bad play there. He definitely likes to run the ball in the red zone. So to the 49ers. So this is a team that I think has a lot of respect in this division. A lot of respect with the industry as well at plus 150 to the reigning champs. I thought they would be in the 200s. I thought this would just be a heavy Rams favorite, and trying to get as much money on the Rams. But a lot of people like this 49ers team plus 150, again, to win the division. Their over-under is 10 wins, and they have the 13th easiest schedule. The main difference is at quarterback here. We got Jimmy G is out, or not out current yet as we record this. Who knows? There was a report that the Giants had him this morning from the fake Schefter tweet that everybody fell for. Even that Fantasy Life app, I got that update, and I was like, "What? No way! This isn't even Adam Schefter. What the hell are we doing here?" But no, Trey Lance is the man. I was all about Trey Lance last year. I'm going to be all about him again this year, except his ADP is stupid. It's climbing. It will continue to climb. He's going to be, but for good reason. I think with his feet, the way he throws the football, he's going to have a lot of people wanting to roster him in fantasy, both and even in DFS on a weekly basis. So what do you think about Trey Lance and this 49er team?
I don't know if I'm 100% sold on it yet. I don't really care too much about the skill guys on this team. Like, I'm way more excited about the skill guys on every other team in this division more than the 49ers here. So I don't know. I know he can move with his legs. and stretch it out a little bit. And that's one of the props that I'm taking. I'm going under 500, and I actually locked this in a few weeks ago because my thinking was maybe Jimmy Garoppolo steals a few games here and there. Maybe Jimmy Garoppolo starts, but obviously we found out today that he's not going to be the starter day one. So I might be sweating this one a little bit, but but 500 yards is a lot of yards. Kyler Murray runs all the time, and we saw him get 525. So
Right. Yeah. And I mean, it could just be more of what he's comfortable with doing too. And all of a sudden, he doesn't. He's a one-read quarterback. Getting used to the NFL, and boom, he just takes off running. So we'll see how that goes. He averaged about 4.5 per carry last year. So when he did play, I think he had 38 rushes for 168 yards. So he ran the ball a lot. But that's his strength. That's what he knows to do. And who knows what will happen? Maybe injury-wise, if he's getting out in the pocket too many times, we'll see. But I'm a little bit different with you on the skill players. I think they have elite ones here with Debo, Ayuk, and Kittle.
Okay.
and Ayuk's just so damn big and versatile. And then they have, of course, George Kittle, who will run over a freight train to get in the end zone. It doesn't matter. And I think he's dipping a little bit in fantasy football this year for some reason. I don't know why. So continue to let that happen, and I'll pick up Kittle a little bit later on in drafts. That's fine with me. But yeah, the biggest question mark is what Trey Lance will be able to do. I think we both think he'll be serviceable. He won't ruin many games at all. And then this team likes to do. They love to run the football. So
that's what I was going to ask you is how do you feel about the running backs here, because they lost Mostert and Trey Sermon, who was supposed to be the guy last year, didn't do anything, and now he's fallen in the depth chart. So
what is it? Mitchell, the lead back right now.
Yeah.
He was a shaky guy for me last year. I didn't, and then was it Wilson? Wilson was the other guy I had on my fantasy team that at times did okay, but Mitchell's the guy there. I think he runs very well. He'll be just with this offensive line as well. I'm good with this run D. They know who they are as well. So it's just trying to make sure that Trey Lance is as comfortable as possible. And as long as he continues to be comfortable, I think this team will excel throughout the year and get hot like they did towards the end of the season. Hell, they almost went to the Super Bowl last year. So
I have a great defense too. So
phenomenal defense. Yep. So I'm not taking anything prop wise for this team yet. I'm going to sit back and see how they're doing it. If I did anything, I might go over Kittle receptions, I've seen a lot of reports saying Debo just does not want to run the football anymore. He doesn't want to be utilized that. We'll see what happens in the season. Might be some chess play here, but we had that controversy in the offseason where they're going to deal Debo or not. I don't think they will. I was
hoping he was going to the Colts.
That'd have been crazy. But yeah, I would probably lean maybe over Kittle receptions, but I'm not going to. Nothing official from this 49ers team. Just think they're a very solid team. Could potentially be up there. I don't think they end up winning this division, though. I think this will be who we're going to talk about next. Is going to be the Rams to win the division plus 125. I'm going to go ahead and lead that off and say I like that. As long as everybody stays healthy, defense-wise, I don't see how they do not repeat. Not as champions. It's not a Super Bowl champions, but of the NFC West. Second hardest schedule, though. They always trying to do that. The Super Bowl teams always get a very, very hard schedule the next year. But Stafford, Kupp, you got Allen Robinson replacing OBJ. Who knows where OBJ is going to go? I doubt he comes back to the Rams. Then you still have Higbee. You got Higbee coming back. You got Van Jefferson. Then you also have the two-headed backfield of Akers coming back from his Achilles injury. You saw him late in the year. But you have and then Darrell Henderson as well. Elite offense. The Stafford Kupp connection was next world. Nobody could have predicted what the hell they did last year together. Nobody expected that. Cooper Kupp was always on the radar, but no one's like, yeah, he's a top guy or he's a top 2 guy, top 3 guy. You weren't talking about him until 3 or 4 games in the season. You're like, okay, this is real. And then people are like, hey, what do you guys do? And they're like, oh, we just eat breakfast together. What? That's all you have to do to gain a really good connection. So that went over very, very well. Stafford transitioned to a not even like a game manager. He was winning ball games for him. He became a winning quarterback as long as he tried in Detroit. He just couldn't get it done with the supporting cast. Then you also have the defense, the elite defense here with Donald and Ramsey as the head. I know they lost.
Just signed Bobby Wagner.
Yep, I was going to say they lost Darius Williams, but they said, screw that. We'll be okay. Let's go sign our division rival who used to always kill us in their place. So we're going to go and get Bobby Wagner. Huge, huge addition there. That's what they needed. Yeah, they lost Von Miller, and then boom, they got Bobby Wagner. So I'm very, very high on this team. And I think the Allen Robinson addition is huge. I don't think people realize how good of a receiver he was. He was a top 10 receiver with Mitch Trubisky throwing him the football. And then just so happened the offense just sputtered down in or up in Chicago. Didn't happen to be such a elite receiver anymore. Mooney got a little bit more love last year. Obviously, injuries happened with him, and now he lands on one of the best teams in the league. I expect a huge year out of Allen Robinson. I was on Robert Woods last year. They lost him, so I forgot to say that. But they utilized that second receiver, one of the most in the league. The Cooper Kupp gets into a stupid amount of usage rate, but that second wide receiver, because they run so many 3-wide sets. Oh, it's a fantasy heaven for most guys for receptions, anything. And then McVay will make sure Allen Robinson is happy. Me and Sidekick are good here to give out this prop over 25.5 yards for A-Rob in a new system and a great place to play offensively at -115. So that'll probably be the podcast play that we'll post.
I love that play. Allen Robinson is not shy of the football either. This guy, 150 plus targets in 4 seasons, 98 or 94 in another season. Like, this guy's used to getting the workload. Yep. And I think this is a perfect fit for him. So he's going to complement Stafford and Kupp very well. Mm-hmm. And I think we might even see a little more upside with Van Jefferson too, who was kind of that feast or famine player last year. So another year under his belt, we might see him blow up a little bit more too.
Van Jefferson is the greatest showdown player in the history of showdowns. Anytime there's a primetime game with the Rams, just captain Van Jefferson up top, because he'll catch 2 or 3 deep balls. 2 of them will go for a touchdown. But then you got Cooper Kupp that'll catch 20 passes in between. But then you got Van Jefferson that'll trump everybody up top. So I loved Van Jefferson. He takes the top off of him.
It's going to be fun to watch these guys because I think Robinson and Kupp are so similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they complement one another very well. That was a great, great signing. I was sad to see Robert Woods go. I loved him. I loved the way he played in between the numbers. But then that damn injury, because he was on my team and we were rolling. I was like, man, I got Robert Woods as my wide receiver 2. I had Adams as my 1. We were rolling, and then boom, that hit. That hurt. That hurt to lose him. So lastly, let's go over the least excited team in this division, probably in all of football. We got the Seattle Seahawks without Russell Wilson, without Bobby Wagner, the 2 guys that you could literally watch on the TV, or you tune into Seattle and be like, oh, yeah, my wife would know Russell Wilson. My wife would know Bobby, maybe not Bobby Wagner. She'd know Russell Wilson, though. And now she'd turn it on and be like, who's this guy at quarterback for these guys? I have no idea. And who is quarterback for him? It's Drew Lock, my most hated player in the entire NFL. Could be
Geno Smith.
Could be Geno Smith. I mean, anybody but Drew Lock. The fact that he's still in the league just blows my mind. Like the St. Louis just got an XFL team. He went to Mizzou. Bring him back. Let's be the Battle Hawk. You can be a Battle Hawk quarterback. I'm good with that's your elite level right there. I'm sorry. I just don't think of Drew Lock as a quarterback in the National Football League that can lead you to anything. A great tanking quarterback. There you go. That's what I describe him as, a great tanking quarterback. So with that rant over with, I had to get that out. All my buddies who watch football with me know exactly why I did that. I just hate them so much. Can Metcalf and Lockett and Noah Fant, who they got, can they be fantasy relevant this year enough to win you leagues?
I think so. Metcalf is a whole nother breed of animal. This guy is massive and fast and big, strong hands. He's going to be able to catch the ball. I don't think he's going to have an issue. Will he produce like he did with Russell Wilson? Probably not. But you have a good point. You and I had talked about this earlier. I'll let you share it. But I still think he's going to be serviceable. He's going to get his touches. He's going to score touchdowns. I also like this Kenneth Walker kid who is from Michigan State, one of the best running backs in the country last year in college football. So that's a pretty big pickup, especially with Chris Carson retiring today. And Tyler Lockett, I mean, the guy, what was he, 37 ADP for a receiver?
Yeah. Yep.
This guy always gets picked late, and he always produces. He's just
37th overall. ADP is like in the 90.
Okay.
90-ish.
So, I mean, you got two really, really good receivers. You got Noah Fant coming. Will Dissly was pretty decent last year as well. I don't know, that like the skill guys on this team are exciting. It's really just the quarterback situation.
Yeah, the quarterback situation is definitely a wild card here. I do think they still have some type of fantasy relevant, but like you're never going to project them like they were projected with Wilson. You just can't. I don't think Lockett will have the big plays. I think Metcalf still can get his touches in the red zone. That's why we both like the Metcalf over 6.5 touchdowns. So I still think he's going to get his. But, you know, do I want to roster these three? Maybe if I get them at a huge discount, if the rest of the league maybe you're in, lets them fall, then you kind of get it. But I'm not too excited to get Fant, to get Metcalf, to get Lockett on my team this year. You know, I think in our league, a couple of guys, or one of the guys is keeping Metcalf, which helps. But my redraft league, we'll have to see where he falls to. But I'm not. Yeah, I'm just not there on this offense. The only people that I would truly roster is Walker or Penny, because I think they're going to run the football. But then you're getting into negative game scripts, and you're thinking, man, is Penny going to run very efficiently? And if they're down by 10 in the first quarter, third quarter, they're just going to throw the ball. It just something I'm not too excited with this Seattle team. You got anything else to add with this Seahawks?
No, but I will go back and add something for the Rams that we forgot to talk about. They had one of the best picks in the draft last year with Kyron Williams. You didn't even bring that up.
I did not.
He's on the pup list, so
yeah. No, that'll be good. All right. So we discussed attacking props. We discussed what we like for the NFC West. If you guys have any questions, make sure you guys check us out on Twitter on that. Let us know who you are on in this division. We'd love to hear from you guys. Next episode, we are going to be going over the NFC East. So that'll be a very, very exciting division to talk about. I know everyone has a lot of opinions on that one. So with that, any final thoughts, Side?
I think this one is pretty cut and dry. we pretty much agree on everything in this division. So it'll be. I just think the Rams are too well-rounded, too good. So
yeah, I think the 49ers have a lot of respect in this division. Do not see them ultimately winning. And if you want to get a little bit ballsy, you could probably maybe go Arizona to finish second and San Fran third. But I'd probably predict it as Rams, 49ers, Cardinals, and Seahawks. So, all right. With that, we will get up on out of here. We appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will see you guys on the next episode.
yeah.